It's not a talk, like a one-way thing. What I'm doing here is facilitating a conversation with you. You good? I thought you were saying something today. Are you listening to something?
Yeah.
Well, the main reason I'm actually here is because 10 years ago I had an experience, an encounter that completely changed my life, and I started to go on a journey to find out why I'm on the earth, why I was born. Most places where I go to, people don't know why they're here. Their life has been dictated by whatever happened in their house, whatever their parents said to them, whatever happened with their uncle or their auntie, however they grew up. And so they get to 20, 22, 25, like myself, 22, and now my life's just a product of everything that's happened. And I started to realize I didn't make any choices I wanted. Life was making choices for me. And at that moment, I was like, I don't want this to be the case for the rest of my life. And so that's why I'm here. So I'd love it if you talk back to me, ask me questions, we have a conversation as opposed to just me talking and you listening. Is that cool? So, in between, I'll keep asking you questions, and I'd love it if you could answer when I ask these questions as well. I won't take too long of your time, okay? Maybe 30 minutes. But the main part of what I'm doing is about being real. Completely real. No games. 100% real. Right? Real talk. We're all the same. We're all human. We are all the same. And there is something that every human goes through that I want to talk about today. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Come on, you don't have to be quiet. You don't have to be quiet. So, one of the main reasons that I got on this journey is the suicide rate. New Zealand has a ridiculous suicide rate, especially amongst youth. And there's programs coming out over and over and over again, but the rate's not going down. Personally, I think one of the main problems is because there's a lot of talk about suicide, which is death, but there's not enough talk about life. There's not enough talk about why you're here. And so that's kind of what I want to go into this morning. So normally when I do a talk at a school or something like that, I go over these rates, but I don't think we need to do that this morning. But I have a couple of questions here. Everyone in this room has probably felt some kind of abuse, has probably been through some kind of issue, has probably felt either emotional, sexual, physical, bullying, racism, something like that. Is that true? There's most people in the room. You can be honest here. So, before I get into it, I want to invite some of you to join this journey for the next 30 minutes with me. Is there anyone in here that would like to come up and just maybe share one line or two lines of a time where they experienced some kind of abuse or some kind of racism, something like that? But don't go deep. You don't have to. You can if you want. Just a couple of lines. Awesome, brother. Come on. Come up here. What's your name? Tiger. Just a couple of lines on something that you went through, maybe.
When I was at school, bullying. You see, different instantly. I was emo. People thought I was gay. So they picked on me. Down, my face, looking sad. So I formed a band. I wrote music for those who
Awesome, eh? Anyone else? Anyone else want to come up and share something? A couple of lines.
I didn't go through bullying through school, racism, or anything. I went through drug abuse. I'm a recovering drug addict.
Yeah. Now I'm giving away chocolates. I know it might be cheesy or tacky and something small, but this is just a small thing I want you to remember at the end of today. Okay? Life rewards action takers. That's the bottom line. You take action, you get rewarded.
I'll take an extra. But I went through mental abuse, physical abuse, and sexual abuse. just kind of did. How I learned to deal with it was through music. And learning how to surround myself with good people, because you are who you surround yourself in. And that's just one line.
So Jeff, go one more.
Yeah, I'll take that one. And bullying, my years grad school, my name being Rusty. A lot of shit that runs with it. Two things through school. People are dicks, and I'm a really good fighter. They just keep your head up. The kids what they say, what they think. Yeah.
Awesome, man. So, basically, the next 30 minutes is about you. Okay? You guys, there are some people in here, you've been through some crazy stuff. There is nobody in the world that's going to understand what you've been through. But the whole purpose of this 30 minutes is to tell you that what happens after the 30 minutes for the rest of your life is on you. It's on you. It can't be on your uncle. It can't be on what happened with your cousin. It can't be what happened at 7. It can't be that. If you leave it there, your past is going to wreck your present and completely kill your future. This thing that I am doing is to help people set themselves free. There is a place you can get to as a human where you are free. Free from your past, free from the need of trying to get something from people, free from that need to be cool, to have a reputation, free from that need to be the funny person, free from that need to be the popular person, free from that need to, I just need a guy, so I'll do whatever it takes to have that guy and keep him in my life. Free from that need to, I just need some people around, so I'll do all the things I don't want to do and violate myself just so somebody will accept me. What I'm talking about this morning is freedom. Complete freedom. When you were born free. When you were born, I have 2 kids. I have a 3-year-old and an 8-month-old. 2 beautiful daughters. They're completely free. When you look at a kid, this is why when someone looks at a baby, they light up. Because that baby is carrying this level of purity, this freedom, this love, that everyone looks at and goes, oh, I remember, I felt like. And so life, based on wherever you were born and things that have happened, tries to chop you down. And there are some people that make really dumb decisions and do really bad things. But that's usually because somebody did really bad things to them. And they might have done something to you. But this next 25-30 minutes is about you deciding, I want to set myself free from all of that. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
You guys okay?
Yeah.
It might get a little deep. And so my recommendation is you only go as deep as you want to handle, okay? You don't have to go past. But if you are willing to go on this journey for the next 20-30 minutes, I guarantee you, at the end of this, you're going to look at this a little differently and look at life a little differently. So, the suicide rate is a big thing because 2 of my classmates committed suicide. One of the guys that committed suicide, he was the funniest guy in our rugby team. He was the happiest guy in our rugby team. I don't know if you've noticed, but usually when someone commits suicide, the people around them go, I never thought that person would do that. They were the last person I thought that would do that. In fact, this guy that I'm talking about, he tried twice. The police said that the first time he tried to hang himself, the belt broke and he fell down and banged his head. He had a bruise. But he went again a second time. Now there must have been something crazy going on for him to go again. And so this is now my mission, which is you are here not by accident. Maybe your parents told you that. You're still not here by accident. You are here because you carry something that nobody else carries. You have a gift that nobody else has like you. We could all sing the national anthem right now. Same song, same tune, but we're all going to sing it differently. Because we are all unique. And maybe no one told you that, but I'm telling you that today. There is something that you carry, that you have, that nobody else has. And the reason you have that is because it's your gift, not for yourself. Think about a singer who can sing really well. That was awesome, right? They don't just go sing for themselves, by themselves all the time. Their singing now is a gift to people that hear them. The gift that you carry is a gift not just for you, it's for everyone around you. Some people have gifts like creativity, like music. Some people have gifts of compassion and love, like all the facilitators here, like James, right? Like Lisa, like they're here. No one's forcing them to be here, and they could be at heaps of other places. But something in them has drawn them to this place. There are people that will use them, abuse them, and then come back and try and reuse them again. Right? Is this okay? Am I being too real or what?
No.
You guys okay? Right? But there's something in their heart that causes them to be here because they were born with that ability, that gift, that compassion. They're not doing it for anything from anyone here. They're doing it because that's who they are. And you are something. And maybe you're 20 and you have never realized that you are something. Maybe you're 24 and you never realized you carry something that nobody else carries. The goal here is that you find that thing. That you find that thing because you don't know how long you have on the earth. 2 nights ago, I'm watching a live funeral of my uncle. That's my dad's youngest brother. He passed away in India. I'm watching this funeral because we can't be there. My whole family can't be there. And so they did this Facebook group and a live, and I'm watching this. And I'm watching them bury my uncle, who I will never see again. And I start to just remember that life is like, you know, I'm 32. I'm like, when did I become 32? My life just, it's gone. You're going to blink and 5 years are going to go. But what's going to happen in that 5 years? What should happen in that 5 years is on you. And you have the ability to control that. When I walked in here and I see my dream, my future, only one way, I'm like, yeah, I get that. I get that. But here's the problem. If I don't deal with my past, my dream, it's affected by what happened to me. My future is going to be affected by what happened to me. My way of thinking is completely ruining all my future relationships. My way of thinking is ruining how I steward my job, how I stay at a job. My way of thinking is affecting how I use money. Do I even have money? Do you guys get what I'm saying here? Is this okay? Are you with me? Some of you getting it? Some of you are like, who's this guy? Okay. Let me tell you who I am. So, I'm 32. I run a fitness training business in Auckland. I was born in India. I came here when I was 11 and I went to a school called Marcelin College. It's a Catholic school. And near Onehunga, near Royal Oak. Anyone know where Royal Oak is? Yeah? So I went there, and when I came here, okay, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. When I came here, I faced a lot of crazy things, right? Because in India, we talk different, we live different, we act different, we look different. I come here, and suddenly now I have a whole bunch of people telling me that I'm weird. Right? I come from a place where I'm totally normal, and then I come over here, and now there's a whole bunch of people telling me, bro, you're not how you should be. That's Jack. And now I'm going through this confusion of, well, who am I? Like, so I start to change. I start to change because I want to blend in. And so I start talking differently, acting differently, doing different things. So with smart people, I know how to be smart. With the guys that play sport and talk rubbish, I know how to do that. And I start to create all these personas. And I went through this crazy journey that I'm going to go through now and share with you. But maybe you have also been through this. Maybe slightly different, but the same kind of journey. So Fuse Life is something I started because I started to understand that every person has a purpose. Everyone has something they were born to do. And when you're living in that purpose, you're completely fulfilled. And you can live in that purpose even though you're in a house that might be messed up. You can live in that purpose even though your past looks completely messed up. You can live in that purpose even if you are 60 and you can still find it, or you're 10 years old, you can still find it. So there's a quote here that I love. The 2 most important days in your life. The day you were born and the day you find out why. What saddens me is a lot of people don't spend any time trying to find out why. So I went to school And in 4th form, 5th form, 6th form, they're like, choose your subjects. It's like, what subjects do I choose? I'm Indian, so I choose accounting. Numbers, that must be what I do. So I do that. And I pass out of school, I go to university. Oh, choose your subjects. Well, what do I do? Oh, commerce, okay. Like be an accountant, you know? I'm just going by what I have seen. Not once asking, who am I? What am I equipped with? I'll go wherever. So my first year at university, now it's my freedom. No teacher cares if I come to class. So I'm just partying, drinking. Year and a half. My first year and a half at uni, I did 8 papers. I passed 3 papers. I just partied, wasted all this money. And then finally one day I remember going, what the heck am I doing? Because I have to pay this money back. Right? And then I started to ask the question, and I studied psychology, sports science, and my life started to shift. So my question to you is, what's inside you? What do you think you carry? What excites you? So, I come here. I remember we went to math class. I came to math class. So school in New Zealand is very different to school in India. In India, there's like 60 kids in the class. And when the teacher's talking, you keep your mouth shut. If anyone talks, psh, like literally, not even soft. In India, parents will go and say to the teacher, hey James, if my son doesn't listen, you let him know. You make him listen. Because if you make him listen, when he comes home, he'll listen better too. So they use canes, right? When they're rubbing stuff off on the blackboard with the duster and you're talking, psh, it will come flying. You can't complain.
Sounds like
I remember many times. What? Sounds like what?
Island.
Yeah, I bet. I remember many times crying in class, getting whacked. Right? It's so different. That's why I'm blown away at the opportunity you have that maybe you don't realize. Like you get to come to an environment that there are people here that want the best for you. They're not even your blood relatives. You don't even have to pay. And they come pick you up and drop you off. In India, if you fail, they'll kick you off. In India, when you're homeless, you can die on the side of the street. Nobody cares. Here, someone's going to come look for you. Here, the government will give you a benefit. And this is what people don't understand. Like, if I was born 3 kilometers the wrong way, I'm in a slum right now. I'm not here. I don't even know what my life would look like. 3 Ks, one way, and I am in the poorest of the poorest place. None of you would have seen me. I wouldn't even know there was a country named New Zealand. Do you understand? Like, this is that serious. Now here's the crazy part. How many of you here chose where you want to be born? Nobody. Nobody. You could have been born anywhere. Right now, in Syria, in Libya, people are scared to come out of their house because there's bombs everywhere. How many of you been scared to come out of your house because there's bombs? There's videos of kids running around crying, looking for their parents. They don't even know what's going on. But for some reason, you are in probably the greatest country in the world. And you have every opportunity to do whatever you were born to do. And it's in your hands. Your dream, your future. And so I come here, I go into math class, I'm like, is this math? Because in India, we were like 3 years ahead. So I come here and they're doing math equations. I'm like, this can't be right. Like, this is too easy. So I start answering all the questions. And then I start to see some people like looking at me funny. They don't like it. Who's this guy? Thinks he's so smart. I'm like, well, I was just answering the question. Then now I'm like, oh, I better stop answering the questions. Because otherwise I won't have any friends. So now that's my first mask. I put on a mask of being dumb, right? I don't know the answer. Actually, inside I'm like, I know it. But outside I'm like, don't say it. Right? And I start to conform. Because now I need to fit in. So I'm not going to answer. Do you know what happened? 3-4 years later, the maths caught up. Because we were 3 years ahead. It caught up and then it went past me. And then the math became too hard for me in 7th form. So what started off as I'm kicking butt now ended up as that's kicking my butt. Because of a mask. Having an Indian house, different. It's very different. So I'm married to a Kiwi girl. And I remember the first time she came to my house, meet my family, and we were all having a family discussion. You know, Kiwi family discussion is quiet and nice and it has a good tone. And when at least in her family, when one person speaks, everyone's listening. You know, in India, like an Indian house, there's like 5 people talking at the same time. Like the more passionate you are, the louder it is. It's chaos. At a dining table, 5 people are talking to each other. And I remember my wife just being so like, oh my gosh, is everything okay? Are you having a fight? You know, I'm like, no, we're not having a fight. This is just how we communicate. And I don't know what it's like in island culture or Māori culture. It might be slightly similar because it's a collectivist culture. It's a family culture. Right? In Indian culture, everyone knows everyone's business. Everyone's uncles, aunties, cousins know what's happening to you, even though you didn't tell them. Does that happen in any of your cultures?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, how do I put on the Indian mask? Because now I'm confused. I'm 11, I've come here, they're telling me I shouldn't be like that. They're telling me I should be like this. Which one should I be? So I'm like, oh, I'll be that here, and I'll be that there. And so now, at 12, 13, I'm getting really good at putting masks on. And now there's other things starting to happen in my life. Now I've got 5 or 6 masks, maybe 8 masks. Now I'm getting professional. Like I can remove and put one on, and you didn't even know. I can merge it, and you didn't even know. Maybe you're sitting here and that's you. And maybe no one has ever seen your face. Maybe you've never had the guts to show your face. Today, you get to choose. Life requires you to be real. Because it's the real you that's carrying the gift, not the fake you. And the more you try and copy what you think you should be, what people tell you should be, the only thing that you'll be good at is being a fake. The only thing you'll be good at is being a copy. So hopefully, I'm starting to encourage you a little bit to remove some of these masks. I would have no idea what some of your masks are. The person sitting next to you, your best friend, might have no idea what your real face looks like. But I'm telling you, the real you is the gift. The real you is the gift. You guys okay? I'm hoping that you're just thinking and not asleep with your eyes open. So here are some questions I have for you. Who are you? Not what people have told you, not the masks you put on yourself, not all the things you've tried to do, but who are you? I love this story that you started writing songs and now you've given your pain a voice. How many of you have heard of Trent Shelton? 1, 2. Trent Shelton, he's got like 7 million followers on Facebook. He does a lot of motivational stuff. A lot of people have heard about him. And he says this all the time, give your pain a voice. It's good to give your pain a voice. But here's one thing I want to tell you. While you're giving your pain a voice, make sure you don't stay in your pain. Make sure you don't stay in your pain. So who are you? Why are you here? What do you carry? What's in you? My third question, what can you do? As soon as I walk in here, I can feel so much creativity in here. How many of you feel like you have some kind of creative gift? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What are some of the other gifts that you think you carry? Can you throw some at me?
Mana.
Mana? What's that? Respect? Pride. Okay. What else?
Strength.
Strength? Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Maybe even fortitude of will.
Fortitude of will. Okay, so just mentally, you're tenacious. You're someone that doesn't give up.
Compassion.
Compassion.
Right.
Wrath. I've heard that one before. Loyalty. Loyalty is a big one. It's a massive one. Today, 2018, you find some loyal friends, like 3 or 4, that's gold. Hope. Empathy. Come on. Honesty. Yeah. Trust. Humble, so humility.
Receptor.
What was that?
Respect.
Respect. Come on, what else? What are some gifts that you carry? So now let's move out of characteristics into gifts. So there are some of you that can write songs, right? How many of you write songs here? Some of you that can play instruments. Some of you that write poems. Anyone here write poems? A few of you. All right? So that kind of thing. What else? Anyone here into computers, IT? A couple there. Anyone here into art? Graffiti art? Anyone here into sport? There's a few. Good at sport. Come on, what else? You're going to throw some because there's so many.
Love is a gift.
Love is a gift. Okay, I would agree. Good with people. Come on, what? Those that aren't answering. Diving. Life skills. Can you throw one example at me? Okay, get one.
Being on an espresso.
Meat on an espresso. Yeah, espressos. Great. Come on, who else? Throw me some. Food. What? Eating.
Yeah, being a mum.
Being a mum, one of the hardest jobs. I'm watching my wife look after my 2 kids. It's more than a full-time job. More than a full-time job. Come on, who else? What do you have in you? Come on, some of you that are like, oh, should I say it? Should I say it? Yeah, you need to say it. I want to hear it. Come on, educate me. See, we got a music producer over there. This is a good dream. Come on. You said something. Come on, I'm just gonna wait 30 more seconds. Just throw one at me. What can you do?
Be yourself.
Great. Drive.
I was gonna say that too.
Come on. Keep going on this path. What can you do? 'Cause everyone in here can do something. You know one of the biggest reasons why people abuse their gift? Let me tell you what abuse is. Abuse. Abnormal use. Abnormal use. That's why when you bully someone, it's an abnormal use of words towards them. When you physically do hurt people, whether it's sexually or just beating someone up, it's abnormal use. That's what abuse is. And a lot of people abuse their gift. And the biggest reason is because they don't value it. Like I've met people, they sing so well, they don't think it's a gift. Oh, it's just... But not everyone can sing like that. So there is something in you that you can do that you might be doing every day. And you're like, But the person next to you on your left and right, they can't do that like you. I'll give you 30 more seconds. Some of you that haven't said, what do you think is in you? There is no dumb answer here. Come on, throw it at me. What can you do here?
Playing darts.
Playing cards?
Darts.
Darts. Oh, darts has become a full-on sport now. Do you guys know that?
Yeah.
They're making millions of dollars throwing darts on ESPN. That's crazy. 10 years ago, no one would have thought that darts could be a career. 10 years ago, no one would have thought that playing a video game could be a career. Yeah. Today, there is a guy who plays Fortnite making $1.5 million a month. It's crazy. The world has changed. And now the world is opening itself up, going, what do you want to bring to the world? Today, you can start shooting videos and put them on YouTube of your singing, and 6 months from now, have a contract and have a life set up. Today, you can do some comedy. Some of you, there must be someone in here that's funny. Right? Someone in here, you funny there in the corner? Do you make jokes?
He's real funny.
There's someone in here that's got a gift of comedy. Come on, I'm just going to wait. Two more. 2 more people that haven't said anything.
Helping others.
Helping others.
Live life.
Live life. Come on, they haven't said anything. 2 more. Why don't you keep saying something? Come on, throw me 2 more. Cooking. Yeah. Look at the popularity of My Kitchen Rules and MasterChef. Like, it's crazy. In the last 10 years, it's become huge. One more. Sport. We already did sport?
Oh, yeah, just like that thing.
Come on, one of you quiet ones, man. Throw one out. Do you know why I make you speak? When you speak, you start to break out of your mask and your cycles. When you start to open yourself up, even if it's really small, that's your first step towards your breakthrough. Throw me one. Come on. You guys are pretty quiet there. Throw me one. Cleaning. It's a gift. You know, people look down on all that kind of stuff, but if there was no cleaner here, things would be Yuck!
Yeah.
It's a gift. So here's my thing to you. Do you know that you can have and do anything you want? It doesn't matter that you're in Whangarei. It doesn't matter if you're in Dargaville. It doesn't matter where you came from. Irrelevant. It doesn't even matter what happened to you. And it doesn't even matter what happened to you today at 9 a.m. We started after 10. It doesn't matter what happened. The questions I'm throwing at you are real life questions. What do you want from your life? What do you want from your life? If I stood here like a genie and I'm like, I give you anything that you want, what would you ask for? In the first 30 seconds, you will scream out some really dumb things like I do. And then you start to get real. And so here is a question I ask a lot of my clients. I ask them this question. So play with me here, okay? You imagine that I'm going to pay you $200,000 a year. How much? 200,000. Just think about that for a second, okay? That's 200,000. All right? Now, if you divide that weekly, that is 4,000 a week. So you imagine I am paying you 4,000 a week. Some of the facilitators go, "Oh, that'd be great money. You changed my life." It can happen. It actually can happen. But that's another day. So $4,000. That's me. I'm paying you, and I have 2 rules. Rule number 1: you can't stay home all week and waste your time. Rule number 2: you can't keep going on holiday. 2 rules.
That's my dream job.
Yep, we'll go there. And so here's my thing. I'm going to pay you $4,000 a week. You get 40 hours a week to do something. Anything you want. You can't stay home, waste time, and you can't go on holiday all the time. What would you do? Throw it out. Come on. Diving. Yep. You know, you can get paid to be a diver. Yeah. What else? Come on. What would you do? That's great.
Manufacture for
Artist. What kind of artist? Comic book designer. Legit. Awesome. Come on.
Manufacture for Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce. Well, no matter how much money you're getting paid, right? Rolls Royce is a brand that was created. So they don't pick people based on money. They pick people based on skill, right? So what does that look like in your life? Let's say you're going to create your version of a Rolls Royce. Not necessarily a car. It might be something else. But what would that look like in your life? Who else? Somebody else said?
Musician.
Musician? But you're doing a comic book?
I finished my apprenticeship.
Apprenticeship?
I finished my apprenticeship.
Okay. And then?
So,
You build? And then?
probably buy more money.
Well, you're getting $4,000 every week.
Yeah, create a home for my family.
Okay. And then? And then? And- Okay. And then? And here's the reason I'm asking you the and then. I will tell you why I'm asking you that.
After I finish that, I will retire and just enjoy my life. Everything around it.
So,
My family, all that sort of stuff that takes time.
yep. But retirement's not on this plan because you're getting $4,000 a week.
You're saying, and then, I just told them my plan.
So you're going to go all the way till you retire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
and
pretty
when-
much.
what age would you
Such a
want to
way,
retire?
And then I retire. I
Okay.
want to retire 50 because I want to enjoy my life. I don't want to be slaving. You know?
Great.
For years.
And this is a great thing to discuss here because I don't know why we've created a life which feels like we can't enjoy it when we're working. Do you know that if have you heard the saying that if you find what you love and you'll never work a day of your life?
Yeah.
You heard that? Do you know that your gift, your passion, that will never end till you die? That stays in there. When you start to let that generate your life, what it looks like might change, but the drive will always remain. And so what I'm trying to do here is try to get you to think outside that box of what is in you that can transform the world around you. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's going to keep you feeling fulfilled. So that was a great answer. Next person?
Oh, yeah, I'll probably, you gave me that a week, how much? 4,000 maybe? Yeah, I'll probably invest my money,
Oh,
double it.
yeah,
You can keep your money,
yeah.
and I'll just use my money for my holidays and stuff.
So if you did 4,000, you'll make 8,000, and then you would use 8,000 for the rest of your life.
I'll just keep investing, double.
Okay.
Keep your money so I don't follow your rules,
Yep.
and then I'll be on top of you. And then
That's
I'll
great.
take you.
That's great thinking. But here's where rubber hits the road now. What are you going to invest in?
Pardon?
What are you going to invest in?
I'll invest,
How much are you going to invest?
I'll invest all of it
Yeah, in what?
in music, bars, clubs.
$4,000.
Yeah.
You gotta invest in what?
5%, keep $4,000, 5% coming my way. I'm sweet. Then I'll just keep double, so I don't have to follow your rules. And then one day, I'll get
So using the tramp did.
No, that's great. That's great thinking. But there are a couple of problems here because we're throwing theory out here, right? Like, here's my question. Have you ever doubled your money doing music?
Yeah.
You've doubled your money? What did you invest in?
Performed at a club in Auckland.
Okay,
Spent $500.
Okay.
Come out with $1,500.
okay. And then you repeated that?
Yeah. The next day.
And then you repeated that?
Nah, I tried to.
So why didn't it happen? This is great. Why didn't it happen?
It's like the gigs we all booked up.
Okay.
Basically the club.
So what if the gigs are booked out now with the 4,000 that I'm giving you?
Then I'll probably pay someone higher. Like, I'll pay the price so he gets off the stage and then I'll triple my price.
Okay, now we're starting to go on a different subject. So here is let's come back to this question. The same, like, do you get $4,000 a week now? Okay, so I come in
I
here,
wouldn't be here if I got $4,000 a week.
great. So I come in here, and this is a great subject to address. I come in here going, $4,000 a week, opening up a world of opportunities. But your problem is my two rules, not the world of opportunities. Why is that?
So I want to be the one giving the rules. I don't want to be following rules.
Yeah, but if you were the one giving the rules, then you wouldn't be here if that worked.
Yeah.
So here's now a deeper question of what inside you hates rules. My rules are keeping you safe. Have you ever had a time where 2 weeks you did nothing? You end up dying. The fastest way to kill someone is put them in a place where nothing's happening in their life. You know when people retire, they get put in a home, and then they die really quickly because they got nothing. So my rule is saving your life. Going, bro, don't stay home. And my rule is going, man, you got gifts. Let's release that because the world's going to love you. But somehow my two rules that make your life better have become shackles to you. And I'm going, $4,000 a week, man, you could do it. And the way you just spoke to me, I'm like, you could do it. But the same thing that I've put out to give you freedom, you're calling bondage. And that might rob you. Because I'm not making you follow my rules because I'm your boss. I don't need you to do nothing. I'm opening up something for you to have. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But sometimes, because of our upbringing, childhood, and how we see rules, we start to kick ourselves in the foot. Because now I'm not seeing James opening a door for me. I'm seeing that James's hand is opening the door. And I don't like that. And so, sometimes your past is subtly robbing you from your future. I don't want to go too much longer. Are you guys okay?
Let's keep going.
Okay. I just want to give you some quick examples. How many of you recognize any of these guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how many of you recognize this person here?
Yeah, she's the surfer, eh? The one that lost her leg.
Surfer, chick that got bitten, Bethany Hamilton. That's right, she got bitten by a shark. When she was a kid, she was a great surfer. She's surfing with her friend. Shark comes up, bites her, bites the board, takes her arm off. And now she's faced with this choice. 1 month, goes into a deep depression, and she's like, what am I going to do with my life? Maybe you guys have had moments like that. Maybe no one took your arm, but they took a chunk of your heart. And you're still missing that chunk. And you're trying to fill it with that guy, fill it with that weed, fill it Friday, Saturday night, trying to fill it with that next hit, constantly. But on Monday when you wake up, hold. And she's making choices. So she's like, I'm going to still surf. Do you think people would have laughed when she said, I'm going to still surf?
Yeah.
She's got one arm. Do you know how many of you have surfed? Anyone surfed here? Do you know how hard it is to paddle with 2 arms? It's so tough, right? Is it tough, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You get puffed out with 2 arms. And if the waves are big, you're done. And she's saying, I'm going to do it with one arm. Do you understand that when she made that decision, it was a tough decision and people would have laughed at her? Do you understand? You might be sitting here going, I'm going to write a comic book and people will laugh at you. So what? So what? The question is, what are you going to do about that? Alright, so she gets faced with this moment anyway. So she starts training. And now listen to me, okay? I do fitness, I fitness business, I understand what I'm talking about here. She's going, a normal person goes like this. Now, Bethany has to go like this. Do you understand how much stronger she has to be on this side? Because she doesn't have this to keep her on the board. Do you understand? If I put you on a board and I make you go like this, you're going to fall off. And so now her training regime, the woman has to train 2 or 3 times harder than a normal person just to make it on the board. When you start to decide to change your life, adversity is going to come. And usually it will come from within your own house. It might be your own brother, your own uncle, your own auntie that's like, you chunk. And now you're getting a choice. What are you going to do about that? Long story short, she's still the man, wins championships. She's legit. Now she's become a legend. She was on her way to being a legend. Now she's a greater legend. Right? So you've heard of her because of that. How many of you know that if she stopped serving, you wouldn't know who she was? How many of you know if she stopped surfing, there is no movie about her? She's just another girl who lost her arm. And what you choose from this moment, not tomorrow, this moment is going to be the difference between you just being another person from Whangarei, another dude from Dargaville, another girl from OT, or someone that did something. It's your choice. Alright, how many of you know her? Oprah? How many of you know her?
The wrong.
Oh!
Yeah, it's my ex.
Oh! Really?
Tyler Perry, Matt Damon, Eminem.
Matt!
That's
So-
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg, yeah.
Sorry.
So here, I just use some people who are famous and they've done stuff. You don't have to be famous to be living in your purpose. I'm using this as an example for you that these guys have all been through stuff. Right? She watched her mother shoot her dad when she was a kid because her dad was being crazy. Okay? She was raped, pregnant at 14, lost her baby completely. Life shattered at 14. You wouldn't know that seeing her now because she's made choices. Right? All of these guys, sexually abused. What I'm trying to tell you is stuff happens. But it doesn't have to determine where you're about to go. That you can make choices that are bigger than your past. You guys okay?
Yep.
Well, some of you.
Not sure.
Come on, man. I hope one of you is getting what I'm saying. Is one of you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. More than one? Okay. How many of you know this guy?
Yeah,
Anyone follow the Warriors?
yeah.
Even though they lose and they're hardest team in sports. Right? Check out this guy's story. He's like a gang member, tough guy. In his teenage years, hanging out with the wrong crowd. One day he's drunk, he hears that one of his friend's mum got attacked. And in his drunken rage, he goes hunting these guys down. Beats them all up, goes to jail. At 17, he's in jail, and he has a moment. He has a moment, rock bottom moment. Some of you have already faced your rock bottom moment. And maybe no one's been there to tell you can come up. I want to tell you that today. You can come up. You can come out of it. Whatever you're stuck in, you can come out of it. So he makes the decision. He starts to understand, man, I'm not just hitting me, I'm hitting my family. Right? And so in prison, they're playing this game. It was called Crash. No ball, nothing. You just run into people one-on-one. One-on-one. And he's so good at it that they start calling him Roy Asatasi. Do you know Roy Asatasi?
Yeah.
He's a rugby league player. He went to our school. They start calling him these kind of names, and he's like, who is this guy? And he starts learning rugby league. And so then he's like, oh, maybe I am good at it. Some of you, your friends, your whole life have jokingly said, bro, you're really good. And you are really good. But you never took them seriously. So this guy goes, I'm going to make a 5-year plan. I'm going to play rugby league. Didn't even know what it was. Starts playing rugby league. Within 4 years, he made the Warrior. Complete life turnaround. From a decision. It always starts with a decision. There's one story. I'll just use one more. Nearly done. Lisa Nichols. How many of you know her? None of you know her. She actually used to be really big. She was round. She's got a crazy story. You can YouTube her story if you want. She's empowering women all around the world. Right? Basically, long story short, she was told all kinds of things in school. She's not good at writing and speaking. She's written books and now she's a motivational speaker. She gets paid to speak. The two things they said to her, don't ever try it, because you'll never make it, are the two things that she's flying in. Right? She helps a lot of women find their identity and self-love. She started the self-love movement. One of the crazy things about her story, she shares this in a video where she's holding her son, 8-month-old son, and she goes to an ATM to take money out. She just wants $20 to buy some nappies, and she puts a card in, and it's $11.42. And she can't even take that $11 out, because it's not 20. She's like stuck, sitting on the sidewalk, and her baby's crying, and she starts crying, and then she looks at her son, and she's like, her son's name is Jelani, she's like, your mom will never be this broke again. Now this is a woman, completely broke her whole life, almost like a ghetto life. She's not smart at that moment, she doesn't realize. But she made a decision. She's like, your mom will never be like this again. To her son, makes this promise. Right? And then from that moment, she goes to a conference to learn about money. Because she doesn't want to be broke. Some of you need to invest in some education. Like you there, sir. You're a businessman. Yeah, you. Not behind you. You. And you need, someone will come and help you understand business. Because there is something in you that wants that understands multiplication. But you also got to understand how it works. Otherwise, you can't make up your own stuff. It doesn't work like that. So she goes to a conference and they start teaching about money. And she's sitting there going, what the heck are you saying? I don't understand these words. I don't understand these terms. What is this? And so normally a person would go, oh, this is too hard for me. This is too big for me. I'm not doing this. She comes back 42 times to the same conference. And by the 42nd time, she has learned all the words, all the terms. She starts raising money for her project, $550,000. She raises all this money, starts her project, and she has changed thousands of lives. Just from a decision. One decision. You can make a decision. This moment, you don't even have to tell anyone. You can make it within you. I don't know if I should go through this program quickly. Should I do that?
Yeah, maybe.
Just really quickly? Yeah. Okay, so because of this, I started a program called Infusion. Okay? Life in abundance. What does it mean to have a free life? And there's 4 parts to this program. The first part's called Baseline of Success. Because a lot of people think success is money or fame, or success is having the right woman, or having their big house, or having it all together. But the true definition of success starts inside you. If I ask all of you what is success, you would all throw different words at me. But the truth is, if you are not succeeding as a human, it doesn't matter how great your success is on the outside, you are going to fall. That's why you have NRL players who get in depression. That's why you have Olympians at the pinnacle of their sport. They win a gold medal, next day they're in depression. Because they thought that what they were doing was success, not who they are. Success comes from your identity, who you are, not from what you do. And so in this program we go through that. The next part, we go into freedom of expression. We kind of touched on that today, what you've been through as a kid, what you've seen in your life. All of that is affecting your expression. And a lot of people are not free in their expression. I'll give you an example. There's some of you in here, you won't speak out in a crowd. You're too shy to speak out in a crowd. But when you were a baby, you would cry anyway. You didn't care if there were 1,000 people hearing you or nobody. You would just cry. And stuff happens in life where you start to shut yourself down. I have a 3-year-old, she just herself everywhere. Right? When I was a kid, I would have been like that. You would have been like that too. You were free in your expression. You didn't care if it was deemed as bad or wrong, or that guy's silly, or she's ugly, or all that. You didn't care about that stuff. But as we grow up, we start to put masks on and we affect our expression. So in this program, we go into that and remove that. Then the last 2 things are dream locator. So this is where we go into what is your dream. After we go through this process, locating your dream is easier. Today, when I asked you about your dream, it was very hard to even go there because we haven't dealt with this. Right? So then we go into that, and then in the program, we map out how you can get to your dream. So if that's a music producer, what does that look like in 5 years? And if that's 5 years from now, what does that look like in 3 years? And if that's 3 years from now, what does that look like next year? And if that's next year, what does that look like next month? And so we break down a plan for you in that program. So I hope that explained a bit of that. I'm just going to cut through all this because we're nearly done here. These are the last 3 things I want you to remember. There are some of you I might never see again. I don't know. Lisa might be like, don't ever come back here again, Joseph. Right? And James might say that too, and that's fine. If that happens. But these are 3 things I just want you to remember, okay? This is the bottom line. Life is short. Life is short. And you don't know how much you have. Just remember this thing. Number 1, you are unique. There is nobody like you. No one that looks like you, talks like you, thinks like you, acts like you. Nobody. If you go outside and look at the trees, every leaf is different. Every snowflake is different. You were created uniquely for a reason. You are unique. Can you say this after me? It might be a bit cheesy, but I'm going to get you to say this after me. You say this, I am?
I am
Unique.
unique.
I don't know if you believe that. Can we do it one last time? I am?
I am
Unique.
unique.
Okay, number 2, you are beautiful.
You are
Everywhere I go. Pardon?
I am.
What did he say? You.
You are beautiful. He said,
No, you are beautiful. So everywhere I go, I say this, and then some guys, they get a bit, like they don't want to be beautiful. But guys, you're beautiful too. You're beautiful too. You're beautiful in your own way. Do you understand? Like, there is no such thing as perfection. It does not exist. People create this version, and now you have Photoshop and airbrushing and put on magazines to portray this thing. It doesn't exist. This is the crazy thing about suicide. The richest of the richest that look the best are committing suicide. The broken that have nobody are also committing suicide. Because there is something missing on the inside. You are beautiful, not on the outside, on the inside. When you start owning that, it'll automatically show on the outside. If you say something to me, I am?
I am
Beautiful.
beautiful.
And last thing, you're a champion. And this is something, it has to be learned. It has to be practiced. Champions think differently. They act differently. They talk differently. They have different rules. Do you understand? When someone wants to be an All Black on a Saturday night, they just don't go and do what they want. When all their friends are going to do something, they're going to bed. Champions eat differently. They act differently. And so this is the last thing I just want to leave you with. I am a champion. I don't know if many of you believe that. We're going to hit that one more time. I am a champion. Well, I think we covered a lot there for this morning. So thank you. Thank you for having me here. And I hope at least one of you got something from anything that I shared. So thank you so much.